Welcome. In this video, I wish to share some of my ideas related to teaching aids. In reality, I don't want to call them as teaching aids, rather, I wish to refer them as learning aids. It's unfortunate that part of education, so-called teaching aids or the toys, equipments which are being used for learning are very few or even non-present. This is one of the lacunae of present educational system, which try to depend much more on the teacher rather than using the teaching aid or learning aid. I will make this point very clear, much more succinct with examples. I am crazy about learning aids. I have a good collection. Let me show one or two learning aids and their status as part of educational system. First, I will come out with one of the toys called this is called a roller scale. We call as roll and draw ruler. Roll and draw ruler, which is 16 centimeters, and also there is available a bigger size which is 30 centimeters, and a fantastic scale, and the price of this is small amount, not much. Of course, that small itself is a big for a large number of students, but anyhow, this is a scale. Let me show the real scale. And this is the scale which has got a roller, and the scale is there here, and it's fantastic. As a grown-up person, first time I saw this scale maybe after my post-graduation. मैं तो गांव में पढ़ा हुआ था, so it was impossible to find such scales in my village. Of course, it was impossible to afford to have such a scale in my life if I imagine when I was in my small village Sirikonda where I was studying. But when I saw this scale, I felt, wow, what a beautiful scale is this. And I felt that this scale should have been and should be there in every child's hand. That I felt it. And I brought these kind of scales to my kid. They enjoyed it. They used to play with that. Let me share the experience of the scale, why I brought it before this thing. So I go to a stationery shop and ask them, saying that I want a scale, and that is a roller scale. The fellow says, is it engineering scale? He will ask. I say, yeah, either engineers use it, and he comes out and shows it. The moment he says it's an engineering scale, I take little bit of offense. I, as a faculty member, feel why this particular scale should be called as a engineering scale. Why only engineers should use this scale? Is it only polytechnic students and also engineering students should use it? Why this is so exclusive for them? No, there is no reason for it. There is no reason for it. It is a custom, it is a culture, it is a practice that this is being used by engineering students, and non-engineering students generally don't use it. But here is a point to be noted. Why not? Why not non-engineering students take this, use this scale, and imagine about engineering? When I asked this question, most of the engineering college principals could never answer me. I asked this question to most of the people, engineering college faculty members, have they used as a non-engineering students? They said that no, we have not used it. But the point is that why this is only limited, made relevant for engineering? It's a big question mark, which we have to attack. I'll go to the second toy. This is a toy which I brought very recently, and this was my most loving possessions. Everybody knows about it. I'm sure there is no need to tell about who the gentleman is or gentle ladies. I don't know whether it's a gentle lady or gentleman, but this is a plastic model. It's a plastic model of a human skeleton. It was a dream that I want to play with a human skeleton. As a village boy again, almost it was impossible for me to see a human skeleton. And it is a taboo that people are not supposed to touch a human original or maybe the real skeleton, or maybe it's rare to, or it's almost impossible to have a skeleton. In my school, there was no a plastic skeleton or original skeleton at all. When I brought this skeleton and gave to my daughter, who she's in 11th standard, she got surprised. She got so happy. She was just touching this human skeleton as if she's meeting a new person, new human being. प्यार से बोल रहे हैं कि hey, how are you? Oh, so nice. Oh, this is the way how it looks like. So she was touching and feeling. And she studied human skeleton last year, 11th standard. Now she's in 12th standard. And it was such an amazing experience for me that my daughter, she's looking at this particular skeleton and feeling it. For me as a parent, that was the most amazing experience. She's not got frightened. Actually, she was, putting her hand and touching the feet of this guy. Hey, how it looks like. And she's putting fingers. She touching this thing. How many ribs are there, counting. She's playing with that jaw. Hey, how this gentleman is. And she's also looking at how the backside portions of the bones are being arranged. And she started counting the number of bones are there. It was an amazing experience. But when I asked most of the students in the classroom, students who are studying, they say that yes, some colleges, some schools, they have got a human skeleton which is put it in a glass frame. Nobody is supposed to touch it, and it's there only in the laboratory. Only biology teacher will show it. Sometimes he shows it. If the school curriculum time doesn't permit, he will not show it even. And they rarely touched it. They rarely played it. And this is an example of a KV school, Kendriya Vidyalaya school I am talking about, one of the best schools in the country, which is said to be. I am sure every 10th standard student, every 8th standard student, every 11th standard students will have this toy, mobile, but they don't have this. How come students will learn about, how come people can understand about skeleton without touching it, without feeling it? I passed like that. My daughter is also getting passed like that. And crores of students are passing out like that. It's a reality. It's a truth. This is a story of learning aids. No principal, no parent, no biology teacher will be worrying about it. No maths teacher will worry about the scale. No principal will think about how, why, how come these kind of things can reach to the crores of students. It's not bothered. How do you get effective education? It's impossible. Let us take to one more example. Maths to biology and biology to some other interesting area. I have a model here. This is the model with which it is being made. This is the model which is being made. So there are what do you call them? Whole balls, and there's a straws with which they are connected, and we can do wonderful models with this. So I shown this to my daughter, and again they just loved it. They said, "Wow, what a beautiful design, a model is it?" But if I ask in a chemistry teacher and chemistry students whether they use this to learn molecular structures, no, rarely, and impossible almost. What is this? This is, what do you call this? You call methane, you call trichloromethane or some bromide, or what is that? I don't know. I am not a chemistry teacher for that matter. And one of my colleagues, a chemistry teacher, talks about it, saying that it is required, but it's not there in the school. Every year, number of students pass out of chemistry. Even chemical engineers, even BSc chemistry and MSc chemistry students pass out without looking at the molecular structures. Rarely you can find these things as a box which they carry to a classroom, a laboratory, and look at this. It's rare to find in the chemistry labs these kind of models available. So my point here is that a math scale, a chemical model, a molecular structure, a biology model, these are learning aids which are not being available in the schools. And millions and crores of students are passing out every year without feeling the subject. There are reasons for it. There are very, very important reasons. We come to the price factor. I will go to that video in the next presentation. I'll stop here with a few questions. Why these kind of models are not popular in a classroom? What is the problem? Are they not good? Are they not effective? Why even the best schools, let alone the village schools, how come the best schools don't have it? These are the questions which educators have to look at, because it's an area of educators, not others. We'll come to the next video, why these models are not popular among the educational system. Thank you.